Hey friends, Irene Lyon here. I have a short video snippet for you today, all on the importance of building capacity so that we can heal anxiety. Have a listen. This work is kind of trial and error. There's no do this first, this first, this first, and then you're done, and then that's it, and you can, never think about it ever again. It's kind of like exercise or diet. You don't just do a good meal once or have a really good workout once, and then you're done and you're good for life. I hope that makes sense. This work, what we're seeing, myself, my colleagues, my students, it is lifestyle, it is lifelong. And there's beauty to that because it means that we don't have to try to get it all done in one time frame. So to avoid or to, I'll say, cope better or be with the overwhelm, build capacity. So in other words, rather than just noticing your body when you're feeling really anxious and you're feeling those fight-flight responses, notice your body when you're not in that state. Notice your system when you're having a talk with a good friend, or you're having a laugh watching a movie, or you're drinking a really nice cup of tea or a glass of wine, or you're on a stroll with your kids, or you're playing. Connect with what your body feels like in those moments when there's goodness, when there's joy, and notice what that feels like, that expansion, because that expansion is what we want to keep when we start to feel these flutters. But because of our brain and because of our history and because of us thinking of these flutters as bad, get rid of them, depress them, we shrink, we shut our capacity down. I hope I'm making sense there. Think of that pool. It's like it goes from here to phoom. So if you want to practice, one way is to start noticing the physiology in the body in times that are better, in times that are less bad, when there's a little more joy, when there's a little more relaxation. That's number one. The other way to build this capacity so that we're less overwhelmed when these little bubbles come up is to actually notice the littler stresses throughout our day. So let me give you a few examples. To me, stress is not necessarily a bad thing. The body is put under a bit of stress when we go up a flight of stairs. Our heart rate goes up. It's put into a little bit more if we might be driving in traffic and all of a sudden we forget our exit and we get a little panicked. There's so many examples. So maybe think of some yourself, maybe write some down after this video. When we can see these more benign stressors in our life that are not threatening and harmful, like exercise or a little oops when we're driving, or maybe you stub your toe on the coffee table, I do that myself. If you can pause in those moments and feel the increase in intensity, feel the heart rate go up, maybe you feel you get a little flush, maybe you feel all of a sudden you shut down. Everyone's got a different survival strategy based on their history. Some people have a heart rate that might go up. Other people might just go into shutdown and numb it all out. Or some of us have a combo of a little bit of both, depending on the situation. So to review, be sure that when these things come up, you feel them, you sense them, you stay connected, and you find ways to practice feeling the body in times that are good, when you're resourced, when there's joy, when there's something that's just benign and everyday. Notice the body when the system is not in overwhelm. The more that can happen, the more you build that capacity, you increase that swimming pool that I talked about, and it actually allows the balls to come out a little easier. If you think about it, if you have a swimming pool with lots of balls packed, it's hard to get them out because they're so jammed. So as we increase the capacity to be with our system when things are good, it jiggles things a little bit so things can come out. And then of course, finally, think of ways, or notice ways, I should say, in daily life where you get a little spike in stress, and notice what occurs and be with it. Practice. You've got to practice these things. And what you might be surprised with is that over time, over weeks, months, years, just these subtle practices can start to create capacity so that when you do feel that old stuff come up, because it will come up, when those things start to come up, you know what to do. You don't freak out. You don't put more survival stress into the system, and then they do truly release, and then they truly integrate, and then your system has even more capacity because you've taken that out of the body, out of the physiology. Thanks for watching this video clip. If you want to watch the full-length video, that is going to pop up on the screen in just a few seconds. So be sure to watch the full length if you want a little bit more. Bye for now.